It started with silence. After Barry Weiss stopped appearing regularly on Storage Wars, there wasn't a dramatic explanation. No on-screen farewell. No long social media post breaking everything down. And in today's internet culture, silence almost always gets misinterpreted. At first, the rumors were small. Fans wondered if he had retired. Some guessed he had health issues. Others speculated about behind-the-scenes tension. But then things escalated. Random websites started running headlines designed to spark panic. Fans fear the worst. What happened to Barry? The tone shifted from curiosity to concern almost overnight. And once that door opened, the stories became more extreme. Death hoaxes began circulating every couple of years. Posts would pop up claiming he had passed away, only to be quickly debunked. Still, the damage was done. Each false claim created confusion. People who hadn't followed the show closely suddenly believed something tragic had occurred. What made it worse was Barry's low profile. Unlike many reality stars who constantly update fans, Barry never seemed obsessed with staying visible. He wasn't posting daily updates, he wasn't chasing headlines. That quiet approach made the speculation harder to shut down. But here's the reality. There was never any confirmed scandal or secret meltdown. The rumors existed mostly because there was a gap in information. And in that gap, imagination took over. The longer he stayed off television, the more dramatic the theories became. But while fans were debating online, something very real was happening behind the scenes. Something that would completely change the narrative and turn casual speculation into genuine concern. For years, the rumors wouldn't stop. Some said he was seriously ill. Others claimed he had quietly disappeared for good. A few even pushed stories that sounded way darker than reality. And the longer Barry Weiss stayed out of the spotlight, the louder those whispers became. But here's the twist. Barry eventually confirmed the truth without making some huge dramatic announcement. No explosive interview, no public meltdown, just actions that spoke louder than every headline. When Barry Weiss stepped away from Storage Wars, fans immediately assumed something had gone wrong behind the scenes. Because in reality TV, people rarely leave at the peak unless there's a problem. Except this time, the story wasn't what anyone expected. So what rumors were actually true? What was completely fabricated? And how did Barry finally put the speculation to rest? The answers might surprise you. Just when people thought he was done with television, Barry made a move that caught everyone off guard. In 2014, Barry Weiss launched his own spin-off series, Buried Treasure. Instead of battling bidders at storage auctions, the show followed him traveling across the country hunting rare collectibles. It leaned fully into his personality, eccentric, curious, and completely unconcerned with flipping items for fast cash. At first, fans were excited. After all, Barry had been one of the most entertaining parts of Storage Wars. Giving him more screen time seemed like a guaranteed win. But here's where things shifted. The spin-off only lasted one season. That short run immediately triggered fresh speculation. Some viewers assumed the show failed. Others believed network executives pulled the plug because ratings weren't strong enough. A few even suggested this was proof that Barry's popularity depended on the chaos of auctions rather than his solo appeal. In reality, the explanation was far less dramatic. The format was different, slower, more niche. Without the competitive tension of bidding wars, the energy changed. For casual fans who tuned in for rivalries and surprise locker reveals, the travel and collect format may not have felt as urgent. After the series wrapped, Barry didn't rush into another big project. He stepped back again, and that's when the whispers returned. Because when someone leaves a hit show, tries a solo run, and then disappears from television entirely, people start connecting dots, even if those dots don't actually connect. But the next chapter wouldn't be about ratings or programming decisions. It would be something far more serious and completely real. What most people didn't realize is that the first major rumor had nothing to do with health or tragedy. It started with a simple question. Did Barry get pushed out? When Barry Weiss left Storage Wars after Season 4, fans assumed something explosive must have happened behind closed doors. Reality TV is known for contract disputes, cast drama, and surprise exits. So naturally, people filled in the blanks. Some claimed producers wanted to shift the show's direction. Others suggested disagreements over money. A few even hinted that tensions with other cast members forced him out. None of these claims were ever confirmed, but they spread quickly because they sounded believable. Here's what actually makes this interesting. Barry himself addressed it. In interviews, he made it clear that he left voluntarily. He described his time on the show as a fun chapter, an experience he enjoyed, but not something he wanted to do forever. He even explained that he preferred leaving while the audience still wanted more, rather than staying until the excitement faded. That mindset doesn't fit the typical reality TV storyline. Most personalities hold on as long as possible. Barry did the opposite. He stepped away at the height of popularity. But that decision confused fans even more, because if there wasn't a fight, if there wasn't a scandal, if there wasn't some behind-the-scenes explosion, then why leave? The answer was surprisingly simple. Barry never needed the show financially. He had already built wealth long before cameras rolled. Fame wasn't survival for him, it was entertainment. Still, while his departure may have been voluntary, what happened years later would blur the line between rumor and reality in a way no one expected. Everything changed in April 2019. Barry Weiss was riding his motorcycle in California when a car reportedly pulled out of a parking space and collided with him and another rider. The impact was serious. This wasn't gossip or exaggerated clickbait, it was confirmed news. Barry suffered significant injuries, including trauma to his chest and legs, and was rushed to the hospital. For the first time, the rumors had something real behind them. He required surgery. He spent time in intensive care. Photos later surfaced showing him in a hospital bed hooked up to monitors. The larger-than-life personality who once strolled into auctions with confidence suddenly looked fragile. And fans who had previously brushed off online speculation were now genuinely worried. What made this moment different was how quickly verified updates replaced conspiracy theories. Close friends shared messages confirming he was alive but facing a tough recovery. There was no dramatic scandal, no secret fallout, just a serious accident and a long road back. Recovery wasn't overnight. At his age, injuries like that don't simply disappear. Physical therapy, rest, patience, all of it mattered. And through it all, Barry stayed mostly private. He didn't flood social media with updates, he didn't turn his recovery into a publicity tour. That silence, once again, fueled curiosity. Some wondered if he would ever return to television. Others assumed the crash marked the permanent end of his on-screen career. After something that severe, stepping away for good would have made sense, but the story didn't end in that hospital room. Because slowly, quietly, signs of improvement began to surface, and what happened next would flip the entire narrative on its head. The comeback didn't happen with a press conference. It didn't come with a dramatic "I survived" interview. It happened quietly. After months of recovery, updates from friends of Barry Weiss started to paint a different picture. He was healing, he was mobile, he was smiling again. The man many feared might never return to television was slowly regaining strength. Then, in 2021, the unexpected happened. When Storage Wars returned with new seasons after a hiatus, Barry appeared once more. Not as a desperate comeback, not as a headline stunt, just back, standing at auctions, bidding calmly, delivering the same dry humor fans remembered. That appearance confirmed more than any statement could. He wasn't forced out years earlier. He wasn't secretly fading away. And despite the serious motorcycle crash, he hadn't been permanently sidelined. His presence alone shut down years of exaggerated online stories. But there was something noticeably different. He didn't return full-time in the same way he once had. His appearances were more selective, measured, almost intentional. And that subtle shift revealed something important. Barry was participating on his own terms. He no longer needed the show for validation, exposure, or income. If anything, his return felt like a victory lap, a way of closing the loop rather than chasing the spotlight. And in doing so, he quietly confirmed the biggest rumor of all. He was fine, not invincible, not untouched by hardship, but resilient. After years of speculation, panic headlines, and worst-case assumptions, the truth turned out to be far less dramatic and far more impressive. What makes this entire story so fascinating isn't the accident. It's how Barry handled everything after it. Most reality stars would have capitalized on the moment. A dramatic sit-down interview, a multi-part recovery journey, emotional music, headlines about survival. But Barry Weiss didn't play that game. Instead, he did the opposite. He kept things understated, no long explanations, no attempt to milk sympathy. When he reappeared on Storage Wars, he didn't frame it as a heroic return. He simply showed up and acted like himself. Calm, collected, slightly amused by the whole thing. That approach quietly confirmed something fans had debated for years. Barry was never driven by fame. He had already built financial security long before reality TV. He didn't need the show to survive, and he certainly didn't need public attention to validate his recovery. That independence is rare in the entertainment world, and it explains why so many rumors miss the mark. The internet thrives on drama. Barry thrives on detachment, and that contrast is why the speculation felt louder than the truth. People expected chaos. They expected hidden scandals. They expected some explosive confession. Instead, they got something far simpler. A man who stepped away when he wanted, survived a brutal crash, and returned only when he felt ready. No grand announcement, no "I told you so." Just quiet proof. In the end, Barry didn't confirm the rumors with words. He confirmed them with presence. By standing there at auctions again, alive and steady, he dismantled years of exaggerated narratives without saying much at all. And maybe that's the real twist. Sometimes the strongest statement is saying nothing. So when people say Barry Weiss confirmed the rumors, what they really mean is this: he proved most of them wrong just by living his life. Barry Weiss didn't vanish because of scandal. He wasn't secretly forced out of Storage Wars. And despite the terrifying 2019 motorcycle crash, he didn't disappear forever. He stepped away by choice, survived something serious, recovered privately, and returned on his own terms. The internet filled the silence with dramatic theories, but the truth was quieter and stronger. Barry never needed fame to survive. That's why he could leave. That's why he could stay quiet. And that's why his comeback felt different. It wasn't about headlines. It was about control. In the end, the rumors said one thing, reality said another. And Barry confirmed it the only way that mattered, by showing up, smiling, and proving he was never gone for good.